progress.
All right, Jeff Zimmerman here again with the legend, the busiest man in boxing, Roy Jones Jr. What's up, Roy?
Hey, take it easy, brother. How you feeling?
I'm doing well, man. I felt like I just talked to you, which probably about a month and a half ago. But listen, I know you got another big card coming up, December 12th. Got a lot of fighters on there we're going to get to. But there was a big show here in Dallas I was at covering that you came into town for Netflix, ringside, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
Yep.
You told me Mike needs to get him out early. Otherwise, it's Jake's fight. Talk about it.
And that's what it was. No, if Mike didn't come out and get him out early, he gave Jake a chance to survive and get comfortable. Jake was going to be problematic. And to me, that's kind of what happened. But like I said in the first round of commentary, I never liked Mike's legs from the beginning. So his legs just wasn't what they were when he was in there with me 4 years ago. So I didn't like it.
Yeah, he had a knee brace on. Did that surprise you?
That surprised me too, but when I saw the way he was moving with his legs, I just didn't like it. And I said that early in the fight because I really just didn't like how his legs looked. And like I say, most times with a fighter, the first thing goes are your legs. And maybe he probably have a knee injury or something, I don't know, but had a knee injury or something. But I don't know, I just didn't like his legs. And sure enough, if he didn't get Jake out early, I knew Jake was going to take the later round because Jake ain't but 27 years old, you know?
Right. And you know how the fans are, Roy, and I'm sure you've been hit up from people all over the world, just like me, the conspiracy theories flowing like crazy,
Yep.
that it was fixed and everything, and MVP, Jake Paul team came out and disputed all that. What are your thoughts on?
I'm kind of like them. I don't necessarily know whether it was or not. It's hard for me to say, hard for me to tell. I do know, like I said, in actuality, I didn't like the way Mike's legs looked. So I don't think Mike was capable of doing much more than he did that night. When he fought me 4 years ago, he was at me for 8 rounds, which was true. But a lot of things happen sometime in a 4-year span. You never know which 4-year span or 2-year span he was going to take the most of a toll on you. So I think either he had a leg injury and he didn't want to cancel the fight again, or maybe his legs were just what it looked like to me. They just looked like they weren't there that night.
Yeah, much different than the videos he was posting on Instagram.
Exactly. Well, not really much different because in those videos we're only seeing 5 and 8 second clips. So anybody's legs look good for 5 or 8 seconds. We don't see what happens after that. So in the videos, they could have been true. Because when he did finally get closer to attack, his legs looked okay for a brief second. But just like in the videos, just for like 5 seconds. After that, no.
And they weren't hitting back either.
No.
Your old rival put his name in the hat, Antonio Tarver, to fight Jake Paul. What would it take for a Roy Jones Jr., even at your age, to do that? Like if Turkey came to you and said, hey, get in the ring with this guy.
I mean, put the right kind of money up. I ain't just going to get in the ring with this guy. I'm getting in the ring and try to make this guy teach this guy what boxing is about. So I'm not the kind of guy who's going to get in the ring and not try to win. If I get in the ring, he got to take me out because I'm coming to win.
Yeah. And the fight of the night was obviously Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano for the boxing purist. A lot of controversy around that too with the headbutts and the big cut, but did the right person win that fight, Roy?
Well, I'm never going to say the right person won the fight. What I'm going to say is this. It was an absolutely marvelous fight by both sides. Do I think Katie was cheating with her head? No. That's just how Katie fights. Amanda came in and did what she was supposed to do as well, and the fight could have, once again, this time it really could have gone either way. But, if you fought her on MVP Promotions in her hometown, New York, and she actually won bigger that fight than she did this fight, and they didn't give it to her, what makes me think they're going to give it to her in Dallas when the fight was much closer in Dallas than it was in Amanda's hometown? And MVP is the promoter, that y'all can fix that or however it goes, but I mean, I'm sorry, but I didn't think that they were going to give it to Amanda when they didn't give her a fight that she won by a bigger margin to me in New York. So if you beat her in New York by a bigger margin and you don't get it, how you think you're going to get a closer fight in Dallas and you're going to get it? I just didn't see that. So I'm not saying that Like I said, I'm not saying the right person won the fight, but I didn't expect them to give it to her because I thought if they ever was going to give her one, they would have gave her the fight that she truly won by a bigger margin in New York.
Yeah. What did you think of that cut, Roy? Were you surprised it didn't get stopped? Because that was one of the worst cuts, men or female, I've seen in a long time.
It was a bad cut, but I'm going to say it like this. Amanda Serrano could have said, I want to stop now. She never did. She never even thought like that. And the reason she didn't think that is because she realized that she was in the midst of a historic event. There are not going to be any other woman fights for a long time that rival those two fights that those girls just had. So.
Would you like to see the third one?
Of course I would. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I mean, and like I keep telling people, I'm not only would I would love to see the third fight, but I also would like to let people understand that you see how action-packed that fight stayed? That's with women for 2 minutes per round. Why would we take a chance of going 3 minutes and messing that up? Because 3 minutes you're gonna get a lot more hugging, a lot more holding. Come on, man, let's keep it what it is. They're not as strong as men. They don't produce as many knockouts as men. So let's keep it at 2 minutes where it stays action-packed. I mean, pay them like you pay everybody else because they deserve that. But that's what it should be for me, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. And once that eye heals up, I wouldn't be surprised there's a third one. Let me ask you about a few fights real quick, and then we'll get into your big card. You've got Fury-Usyk rematch coming this month. Anything different in this fight are you expecting?
Yeah, I'm expecting Fury to go and make some changes, make some adjustments, and do some different things because Fury is smart and a good boxer and knows how to come back and redo things. So I think he'll come out with a different game plan. And I expect to see him do a little bit better this time. But at the same time, I feel like Usyk left the fight with the momentum. And I think it's going to be very hard for Fury now to get that momentum back.
What about David Benavidez? Everybody's been calling for him and Canelo. Canelo obviously seems to have maybe Terrence Crawford in his sights with a lot of money from Turkey potentially. Now he's fighting a dangerous 9-0 Cuban kid, left-handed Benavidez-Morrell. Risky fight. What do you think about that one?
Risky fight, but we'll find out what David Morrell really has because a 9-0 Cuban is like a 25-0 anybody else because they have so many fights as amateurs that they have experience beyond any measure of people that we know. So a 9-0 Cuban is like a 25-0 anybody else. So don't pay that 9-0 no attention. But we'll find out how tough and how good he is because if he can hurt David Benavidez, then he'll have a much better chance. But if he don't hurt David Benavidez or not get David Benavidez respect early, the late round going to be David Benavidez. So if he can shock him early or have him afraid early from hurting him, knocking him down or something, then he has a chance with David. But if he don't do that early, David going to walk the dog with him.
Yeah. And then last fight, Boots and Boots-Ortiz, the fallout on that, Roy. What do you think is going on with Jerron Boots Ennis and getting one of those big fights under his belt?
I think the problem with people like Jerron Boots Ennis is that you have to be very careful because if not, you'll do the same thing that Demetrius Andrade did. Demetrius Andrade, he waited for the big fight. By the time the big fight came, his fire was fizzled out. It was too late for him. So by the time he got a chance to fight somebody that he thought he wanted to fight, it was too late because he waited all those years. Sometimes you got to take the snacks until you get to the real meal. You understand me? The snacks will keep you sharp so that when you get to the real meal, you're ready. But if you just wait on the, I don't want to eat nothing until I get the meat, it may be too late. You may not be hungry no more. And that's what happened to a lot of guys. So he needs to take and start looking at the guys around him. Do something that's going to keep you.
Talking about big cards, you got a big one coming up December 12th, BLK Prime. You got 5 fighters on the card. Not only that you train, but you're also going to be mic'd up in the corner. Talk about the card and some of these fighters that you got. You got a title fight on there. You got a lot of young, hungry lions.
It's an extraordinary card. All of my guys are different in their own ways. Got Shady Gamora, the old veteran, coming back. He hadn't fought in about 2 years, so he's making a comeback against a very tough fighter. Devontae ain't no easy win. Andrew fought him, and it was a very tough, very close fight in some people's eyes. So that's a very good fight, and I'm looking forward to see what Shady got left in the tank. He here to show me, and he got the right opponent to show me with. So I'm here to see that fight. That's the main event, I think. You got Andrew coming back, who had shoulder surgery, so he's coming back to fight to make his first fight back. We want to make sure that that shoulder is good, so we got him in. But he's a pretty crafty guy himself, but we didn't put him in too tough because we want to see how that shoulder is. If the shoulder's well, then he can come right back and get right back at it. But I want to see what happens with that shoulder and how good he's gotten, how much better he's gotten with his left hand too. Then we got James Wilkins, who got a fellow New Yorker who is a no-nonsense guy, who I'm expecting to become the world featherweight champ at some point soon, I'm hoping. And I like what I see in him, so he's learning this time around. I had him about 4 years ago, but we parted ways, and he came back with a whole different attitude. He got a kid. He has a different mindset, so we'll see where he goes with it now. Then I got Jalapeno, who's fighting a very tough fight. My second fight with Jalapeno, he's 10-0 now, but I got him, he was 9-0 already, but he had never fought nobody with a winning record. Never been to a real training camp for himself. He just was in other people's training camps, but he won, had all his wins were on talent and the fact that he loved to fight. So now he's learning things, learning how to fight. He's a much more interesting fighter, and he's enjoying it because he's learning things about boxing that he never knew before. So that's a beautiful thing. That's going to be a great one, too. And last but not least, I got Chris Young, who is in his second professional fight. Now, Chris Young may be the most intriguing of all of them because Chris Young is a crazy mixture of Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. How does that go together? Wait till you see Chris Young. You're going to find out live on BLK Prime.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to be a mixture of you and Mike.
Watch him.
That's something to see.
Watch him.
Yeah, no doubt. And talk about being mic'd up in the corner, though, and giving analysis while in the corner. You're probably the only guy in boxing that can do such a thing.
Well, I probably am because I got sense enough to how to separate. I know how to separate myself for the fans, give myself to the fighter in that 1 minute break. So after that 1 minute break, I got to go back and give myself to the fans. During that 1 minute break, I got to give myself to the fighter. But the time I really gave to the fighters, it's the time we spent here with them in the gym. So when I get there, they should only need me for that 1 minute. The rest of the time, they should be doing what we did in here. So they should be fine.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
And real quick, Roy, I'll get you out of here in a minute. I can't wait for the card coming up on BLK Prime. Hall of Fame announcement came out today. Michael Nunn, Manny Pacquiao, and Vinny Paz lead it for the men. What are your thoughts on those inductees into the Hall? Awesome
inductees. I love it. I'm very happy for all three of them, especially Michael Nunn and Vinny Paz. So Pacquiao, we knew he was going to get there, but for Michael Nunn and Vinny Paz to get there is a big and awesome thing for me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Only thing I'm missing, I was hoping Russ Ember got it. I was hoping Russ Ember got in this year. I was hoping Russ Ember got in this year. He didn't, but maybe he will next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no doubt. And now you're the newest member of All the Smoke. Seems like it's just booming. Joined Andre Ward. Saw your interview with Andre at your gym and on your property there in Pensacola. Just talk about joining the All the Smoke team and what's it been like?
All the Smoke team is so fascinating to me because it gives us a chance to talk about things, to visit boxing from sides that nobody's ever visited before. And with me and Stacks and Barnes, with Matt Barnes and Andre, well, me and Matt played in the same basketball league. We played in the United States Basketball League around the same time, so we understand and know about basketball and we know about boxing. So it's so much more to just the combination than just boxing. You know what I mean? We can talk about basketball, football, and boxing. So it gives us 3 or 4 different avenues we can hit from it. It's a beautiful thing. I love being there. I'm so proud and so glad that they called or reached out for me because it gives me an opportunity to be back on a platform to give people my mindset, let people share the mindset that I share, and I let them see it from my perspective. So, yeah.
Yeah, that interview with Andre was great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
But listen, Roy, December 12th, back in Washington, BLK Prime. You just mentioned all your fighters. Tell the fans what they need to do.
What y'all need to do is tune in to BLK Prime that night. Y'all gonna see something different. Y'all gonna see a guy work 5 straight corners and commentate at the same time. I wanted to in my heyday. I wanted to fight, commentate, and work a corner, but I never got through that because people couldn't think outside the box enough. But now that I'm on this side of it, I can still think outside the box more. And so right now I'm going to try commentating and cornering 5 guys. After that, I'll come back and probably do cornering 5 guys or 4 or 5 guys, commentating, and a concert intermission. Then after that, I might come back and do an exhibition. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. But that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
The one and only Roy Jones Jr. Man.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it.
Always an honor to talk to you. Good luck on the card and
Thank you.
everything else you got going. We'll talk again soon.
All right, brother. Thank you.